OzChild has been protecting children's rights since 1851, working collaboratively to ensure better outcomes for children, young people and families. During the gold rush in 1851, a mass influx of migrants arrived in Australia. While some people became very wealthy and prospered, many fell by the wayside, leaving families desperate and destitute. During these times, government was not involved in social support systems, which meant people relied on charity organisations for help. OzChild was created out of a recognition that society at large was not able to support everyone, and people were falling between the cracks. The first superintendent of OzChild, Edwin Exon, and his wife Frances cared for 300 children at the Melbourne Orphanage Asylum from 1859. Throughout their 50-plus years of service, Edwin and Frances were committed to bringing best practice into the organisation to better support vulnerable people, often travelling overseas to investigate practice internationally. When Edwin and Frances first arrived in Melbourne with their 2 children, the community was experiencing an outbreak of scarlet fever. Wanting to keep their own children healthy and safe, they decided to send them to the country so they could focus on caring for the children at the orphanage. While all the children in their care were nursed to recovery from fever, in a sad twist of fate, their 2 children died. Times were tough after World War I. Australia was experiencing returned injured servicemen, a wave of immigration, high unemployment, poverty and hardship. J.C. Butler served as superintendent at the Melbourne Orphanage Asylum from 1922 until 1955. With men away at war, women were forced to work full-time for very little pay. Women faced scrutiny and discrimination as they were unable to complete their duties as mothers and housekeepers while working to provide for their family. With poverty and hardship rife, children were left on the street or surrendered to orphanages. J.C. Butler saw the failures of the system, recognising the appalling outcome for these women who were unable to keep their families together. With extraordinary vision, empathy and a sound understanding of the importance of family, JC was a key agitator for the introduction of the first widow's pension, enabling widows to support their families. At one stage, JC Butler also used orphanage money to pay women directly to keep their children in the family. This sense of purpose, innovation and passion for social justice, together with the desire to strengthen families, is part of our history. Today, we continue to walk in the footsteps of our predecessors, transforming the sector to achieve better outcomes for children, young people and their family members. Like Edwin Exon's vision, we are committed to ensuring our practice is to an international standard, introducing evidence-based models to our suite of programs. And like J.C. Butler, we continue to play an active role within the sector, working collaboratively with like-minded organisations to effect change in the system. Sadly, the vulnerabilities facing children, young people and families back in 1851 are not dissimilar to those being faced today. Children are being removed from their parents at alarming rates, and the child protection system is in crisis. Early intervention and prevention programs are helping to break the cycle of disadvantage that so many children and young people face. And these evidence-based programs are helping to keep families together. At OzChild, we are proud to be thought leaders who provide solutions in order to improve the outcomes for our future leaders, leading us to a brighter tomorrow.